Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of English in Practice. It's Kareem with you, your English teacher. Today we'll focus on some phrasal verbs that all begin with the same verb, bring. We will look at their different meanings they can express in different situations, and we will have examples to learn how to use them appropriately in these different situations, so keep watching. The first phrasal verb on today's list is bring up. Now this phrasal verb, like many other phrasal verbs, can express different meanings in different situations. So let's begin with examples. Example 1. Jack was brought up in the UK by his aunt to respect the elderly. Example 2. We're trying to have a good time here, so don't bring up his ex-wife. Example 3. I often bring up my meal when I eat too much. In the first example, the phrasal verb brought up is the past tense of bring up. Now, to bring up a child means to look after that child until it's an adult. It also means to teach that child, while looking after that child, certain attitudes, beliefs, or a particular way to behave. So let's look at our example again. Jack was brought up in the UK by his aunt to respect the elderly. Jack was brought up by his aunt means that Jack was looked after by his aunt, not his father, mother, or anyone else. In the UK, this part, or based on this part, we know that Jack lived in the UK as a child. To respect the elderly refers to the attitude or the beliefs he was taught while being looked after by his aunt. The second example is expressing a different meaning using the same phrasal verb. To bring up something means to mention something, to talk about a topic, an idea, etc. Now let's add some context to our example so that we understand what we're talking about here. Let's say that we're gathering all of our friends, and our friend, the host, is really sensitive about his ex-wife. So basically we know that our friend is divorced, and we don't want to talk about his ex-wife or he will be upset. So I talk to one of our friends who maybe doesn't know, and I say, we're trying to have a good time here, so don't bring up his ex-wife, which means don't talk about his ex-wife and don't mention his ex-wife. Otherwise, he will be upset. In the third example, we have a different meaning. To bring up food means to make food come back up from the stomach through the mouth. In other words, to vomit. So our example means, I often vomit when I eat too much. The second phrasal verb on today's list is bring down. As you can see, this phrasal verb has a different preposition, but it begins with the same verb. This changes the meaning or the meanings of this phrasal verb, as the examples I'm about to give you will show you that this phrasal verb can express different meanings in different situations too. So let's begin with examples. Example number 1, revealing secret files may bring down the government. Example 2, Jack was brought down by David in the penalty area. Example 3, losing his job brought him down. Example 4, I will buy the new graphics card when they bring down the price. These 4 examples don't cover all the possible meanings this phrasal verb can express, but maybe we can talk about these other meanings later. Now let's focus on the meanings we have. In the first example, the phrasal verb bring down the government means to cause the government to lose power. So our example means that taking the secret files out to the public may cause the government to lose power. In the second example, or let's say the second example, is expressing the clear and obvious meaning of this phrasal verb. Jack was brought down by David means that David caused Jack to fall to the ground. This usually happens in sports, and in this example, we're talking about soccer. So during this soccer match, Jack and David were playing, and David caused Jack to fall to the ground. Bring down means to make someone fall to the ground. The third example is expressing a different meaning. To bring down someone means to make them feel bad or even worse than they did before. Our example means that losing his job made him feel bad. In other words, losing his job caused him to be in low spirits. In the fourth example, we have a meaning that's easy to understand from the context of the example. To bring down something means to make it less or to make it reduced. So when I say, I will buy the new graphics card when they bring down the price, means I'm gonna buy this graphics card when the price is less, when the price is reduced. The third phrasal verb on today's list is bring about. This phrasal verb is different from the previous phrasal verbs in that it doesn't have a lot of different meanings in different situations. Let's begin with the examples and see what that means. Example 1. Many social changes have been brought about by today's technology. Example 2. The ship was brought about by the strong winds. Now, the same phrasal verb in both examples is expressing different meanings. In the first example, the phrasal verb bring about means to happen or cause something to happen. So our example means that many social changes have been caused to happen or just happened because of today's technology. In the second example, we have an entirely different meaning. To bring about a ship means to change its direction. So our example means that the strong winds caused the ship to head in a different direction. Today, we looked at some phrasal verbs that all begin with the same verb, bring. And we also learned the different meanings this phrasal verb can express in different contexts. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much. Stay safe.